Welcome to a special series of Kitchen Chat, a taste of luxury, history, and hospitality. This is your host, Margaret McSweeney, and I'm so glad you are joining me for this delicious journey. Today, let's travel to New York City, where we will visit Baccarat Hotel. It opened in 2015, and this Manhattan gem is the first hotel from the legendary 260-year-old French crystal house, Baccarat. It's a stunning blend of heritage and modern opulence. The dazzling chandeliers whisper the timeless elegance of Baccarat. Let's meet Director of Food and Beverage and Executive Chef Ashfer Biju, who shares his culinary artistry at Baccarat.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's so great to see you. And congratulations. I understand the hotel is celebrating 10 years.
Yes, yesterday was our grand 10th anniversary. So excited to be here at this time.
Oh, and I enjoyed a delicious and exquisite afternoon tea here at Baccarat to celebrate with some friends. And the highlights of that tea were phenomenal. If
Thank you.
You can tell us about, oh my goodness, it was so delicious and exquisite. The fried chickpea savory.
So we are very proud of our afternoon tea program. We have a menu that is curated, which is, origins in the Old English traditions. Yes. And we have brought in some elements of New York. And you will see a few touches of me, as well as the hotel. So the bite that Margaret is talking about is we have this beautiful chicken salad, which is called coronation chicken salad. It comes in a lentil crisp. And it is topped with a pickled chili. It's one of my favorite delicious bites.
Oh, it is truly delicious. And what inspired you?
So what we do is, traditionally the afternoon tea comes with, sandwiches, pastries, and scones, which is the way it is supposed to be. But we've kind of thought about this a little bit differently and said that along with sandwiches, we do have a couple of sandwiches which are done traditional way. For example, the egg sandwich is done quite traditional.
Yes.
We said the other bites, even though they will be sandwiches, but we will be a little bit different. So hence, it still needs a carrier and a protein, if you will. So we just follow the same format, but do things a little bit differently. So this coronation chicken salad bite is very dear to me because this has traditions of how a certain dish that got popularized in England right after India's independence, and India is where I'm from.
Yes.
And we wanted to bring that in an afternoon tea bite in New York.
Oh, and it is truly a bite of deliciousness. There's no other way to explain it. And you are known as the chef of perishable art. And truly, it perishes quickly here because it's so delicious.
I'll just talk a little bit about why I call myself chef of perishable art. So, food is, there's always this question about, is food science, is food art? And that question goes back and forth. And I think the right answer is probably that it's a combination of both. But I also think at a very personal and a very emotional level, food is really an intense form of art. Yes. And why is it so? Because, we take all this pride, all this passion, and all this energy and time to create a certain dish. And it's not just the preparation time, it's conceptualization. Yes. It's a whole, there's a whole hours of effort that goes into creating a dish.
Yes.
And you create that dish and, you plate it beautifully. You really enjoy the creation when it's consumed. So hence it is perishable.
Oh, and you are quite the culinary artist. I think I'm going to start calling you the Banksy of food.
That's going too far. But thank you.
Oh, God. Tell us the story of Baccarat. And friends, this is just gorgeous. I'll make sure I have some pictures throughout the interior of the exquisite chandeliers, crystals, and there's even a boutique as well. But tell us the history and how did a hotel come about and is it expanding?
So Baccarat is a 260-year-old traditional crystal manufacturing business.
Yes.
So about 10 years ago, our chairman Mr. Barry Sternlicht, was in conversation with Baccarat to create this amazing hotel. And now we've been in existence for 10 years. The Baccarat still remains, so we have a very close connection with the Baccarat brand and the crystal.
Yes.
As you can see, it's all over the place in the design. And every single beverage that you drink, consume at the hotel comes in a Baccarat crystal glass.
Yes.
Something that we're very proud of. It's our DNA. So it's a really unique and new definition of luxury. And I fell in love with this hotel the moment I walked in. I had been here before, but I never looked at it from that angle of being working here. But 2 years ago, when I walked in for an interview at Baccarat, I loved it. Baccarat is also growing. So for the 10 years, we've been just one hotel in New York City. And now the company has announced that we will open 5 more Baccarats in the next 3 to 4 years.
How exciting! And any destinations that have been announced?
So we have. I'm right now. I'm working with our leaders who are putting the Florence project together. Wow. So Florence and Rome will be the next 2 hotels. We do have a beautiful property coming up in Dubai, one in Saudi Arabia, which I believe is in Diriyah. And then I'm so excited about this, that they have just signed about 3 months ago, they've just signed a beautiful resort. It will be the most high-end resort in Maldives, where I had spent about 3 years. So super excited about Maldives.
Oh, that is so exciting. And it will all have the crystal theme.
Yes, it'll be, the hotels, the resorts will be, a hotel and the resort will be very different.
Yes.
But it'll have the same threads. It'll have the crystal, it'll have, definitely all crystal glassware. It'll be high design hotels.
Oh, I have to, on a side note, it has been such a joy to stay here. And even the room service has the Baccarat crystal. It is everywhere. You just feel like you're on a luxurious vacation, which you indeed are. Well, have your dishes been inspired at all by the presentation?
Yes,
on the crystal.
So the cuisine of what we follow at Baccarat has a certain French elements.
Yes.
Because we are rooted in our French culture of crystal and dining. Yes. So we keep that as our baseline, and then we incorporate New York, and we work very closely with our. We do have a consultant chef, which is Chef Gabriel Clouther, 2-star Michelin.
Yes.
So I work very closely with him in curating cuisine here. But we bring in elements of New York. We bring in elements of new American dining.
Goodness, and it even extends to the in-room dining. And I did not order this, but I must say, the eggs and caviar for breakfast. Tell us about what inspired that.
No, so we encourage people to indulge.
Yes.
Because this is a hotel which is celebratory.
Yes.
Of course, you can stay here as your typical, if you're traveling to New York on business, you can stay here. But what we've seen time and again is that even when our clientele is traveling to New York, yes, they would often club their leisure with business. And possibly, I've seen this so many times now that a high-level executive will be here on a Wednesday, Thursday for a board meeting or whatnot, and his family or her family fly in, yes, and be here on the weekend. So that's very typical. So we look at it as our guest is here to celebrate, no matter what.
Yes.
So one question that you get asked a lot if you're dining with us or if you're staying with us is, what are we celebrating today?
Yes.
And sometimes you don't really need a reason, but you celebrate,
exactly,
right? So we encourage everyone to indulge in themselves.
Yes.
So hence, on the menu, it's not to say that, of course, sometimes some people say caviar is overrated, truffle is overrated, but you will see elements of luxury that is speckled in the menu, which encourage you to celebrate. Yes. But we have this amazing or rather funny way of pairing those luxury elements. So eggs and caviar is one of the examples.
Sure.
Breakfast, who wants to have, breakfast is a familiar meal where you just have eggs, right? Now you elevate your eggs with caviar, right? Or we do a fried chicken and caviar dish at the bar. So you're sitting around with your friends at the bar, and typically you would love a fried chicken, French fries, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now that comes with a topping of ranch sour cream and caviar. Bingo.
Beautiful. I love that. And it's also balanced with health. I did have the detox drink with the turmeric ginger.
Yeah, so it's indulgence at every level. And then, you spend a few days here. We want you to go back re-energized in every sense.
Yes.
Health-wise, emotions-wise. So that's the objective.
Yes.
And then what is amazing is that our company, Starwood, it used to be called SH and now it is Starwood.
Yes.
From an organization level, we are actually compensated as well as encouraged to partake in community initiatives. And also we work with a company called Copia to donate our surplus food. So a lot of activity there. But this is very important for me because food is, being in food, this is the most you can do. Being in the food industry, I find it as my responsibility to make sure that we are in the feeding and we are in the looking after the unfortunate business.
I love that. And I love that this hotel encourages the participation. Another great reason to stay here.
We call it the Paid Forward program.
Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Love that. Oh, well, thank you for all that you do and all that Baccarat does in terms of supporting charity and feeding those who need to be fed and encouraging everyone. So what is your favorite luxury experience that this hotel offers?
It's difficult to name one.
Yes.
But I would say not to take it away from food and beverage, but I think what I found when I stayed here one weekend, what I found really exquisite is the arrival experience. And I'm sure you've probably felt a little bit of it because the hotel is, our lobby is on the second floor. Mm-hmm. So you walk in from the street, and I mean, we are in a very prized neighborhood of New York. Our next door neighbor is MoMA, right? So you can't get better than that. Between 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue on 53rd Street, Midtown. You're walking into a very understated lower lobby, which is a little bit dark. But then you take an elevator, you come into the second floor, where the lobby of the Grand Salon is, and you walk into Grand Salon. To me, that's a wow moment right there. If you were to step back and think about that as a luxury experience, that's my favorite experience. Yes. Then, of course, I would then encourage everyone to sit and spend hours at Grand Salon. So Grand Salon is our dining room. Mm-hmm. Our dining room is anything but. Yes. We have a lounge setting combined with dining setting in the dining room. So it's supposed to give you the feeling of you just walked into somebody's living room. Yes. Okay, and you just decided to have dinner. And for a dining luxury experience for me, we have this amazing table called Table 41 or Grand Table, which is nestled in a section called the library at the Grand Salon. So this is an elevated table that sits smack in the middle of the room. Typically, we do a lot of wine dinners and a special afternoon teas like you had yesterday over there. Thank you. So the feeling is that you're in a fairly crowded, I wouldn't say crowded, but busy restaurant. Yes. But you're seated on an elevated table at an elevated chair, almost bar height, and you are enjoying this under a crystal chandelier. Yes. So that's, to me, a great luxury experience. It is truly luxury. And the room where we are now, can you... This is called the Petit Salon. Okay. Petit Salon is, it's kind of attached to the lobby of the hotel and the dining room. So for the most part, this is used by the guests to just lounge and maybe order a beverage, but it also has a couple of tables for dining. You do have, this is a very sought after room when we have delegations in the house, like let's say a delegation from a country or musicians. We often have artists from the MoMA stop by for certain things. So if they want a little bit of privacy, this is a great space. We also do small receptions. We're a non-banquet hotel. Sure. But we do, let's say, small 20, 30, 40 people receptions, and this is a great spot for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Every place is a wow factor here at Baccarat, and your food, and you truly exude what Kitchen Chat is all about, with a taste of luxury, history, and hospitality, and your graciousness shines even more brightly than the Baccarat chandelier.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Many thanks to Executive Chef Ashfer Biju, his culinary team, and the gracious staff at Baccarat Hotel in New York. Please visit baccarathotels.com for information about booking your next stay, and follow at Baccarat Hotels on Instagram. And please visit kitchenchat.info and follow at Kitchen Chat on Instagram, where you'll find inspiration for your next delicious destination. And always remember to take a moment and savor the day.